Hi friends, Maya Lila DeVento here, and today I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how to listen to your soul. Listening to your soul is among the most important work that you can do as a human as a soul having a human experience, or as a human having a spiritual experience. There's so much more beyond this life than our bodies, than the material realm that we're taught is the only thing that's real and true and provable by science, which is total bullshit. If you're interested, read books like An End to Upside Down Thinking by Mark Gober. And there's a bunch of other ones that show just the decades and sometimes even like hundreds of years of scientific research on the non-locality of human consciousness, on just that the soul is real, that it extends beyond death, that we don't die when we die. Our bodies die, but our soul continues on. And I think all of us know this implicitly, intuitively, but we still live in a society. Western society says, nope, that's not true. It's not true. God isn't true. The soul isn't true. Magic isn't real. Elementals aren't real. Entities aren't real. All that stuff is superstition. So we're living in a schizophrenic society that is based on lies, and we have become a schizophrenic population that is based on lies and completely ignorant of the reality of the spiritual world, of the energetic world. So how do you start listening to your soul and hearing your soul? Well, number 1 is meditation. Meditation is important because it's important, especially in this world we're in now, to shut out the external noises and voices and sounds and really get still and quiet inside of your own body, because your soul is a voice that only you can hear directly. And in order to hear it, you need to be quiet and sit down and spend some time asking it questions and listening. We ask questions and we don't listen. And this is something that I do all the time. I say, I want this. I ask for guidance and questions, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And I never shut up. And my intuition is like, well, if you want to hear, you need to shut the fuck up. So listening. And listening, it doesn't have to be a silent Vipassana meditation retreat, even though I do recommend that if you are beginning with meditation and it calls to you, which it totally called to me. The first time I heard about a 10-day silent meditation retreat, I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. I was so excited. And other people are like, I never want to do that. That sounds horrible. And they just probably haven't had past lives, hundreds and thousands of years of meditating like I have, and like maybe you have. So do what calls to you, whether that is fishing or walking or running or skydiving or wherever it is that you find in your life where you feel called or drawn to silence and stillness. It could just be sitting by a creek in nature. So number 1 is a practice of some form of meditation, which is just listening and just getting still and just shutting out all of the external voices, all of the external energies, all the external noise. We have to come back to our own internal guidance and listen to our souls speaking to us through our bodies. Number 2 is gather evidence. So your intuition and your soul are interrelated. Your intuition is how your soul speaks to you. And oftentimes intuition and the soul don't speak in words or sentences, and you may not hear voices, like literal voices in your ears. You may just have an internal knowing. You may have a vision or something pop up into your mind. You may have a sensation that brings something to mind. And so gathering evidence is doing something like getting a journal, like a little tiny journal that you can fit in your purse or your wallet or your backpack or wherever. Not in your wallet, that'd be really tiny, but a little journal where when you get something that feels like, okay, is this my soul speaking to me? Like an idea or a voice. It's like, you should do this, or just an impulse or an inspiration of like, oh, I should go take that pottery class at the ceramic studio down the week. Blah, blah. I should go take a ceramic studio. Can't talk right now. I should go take a class at the ceramic studio down the street. Or I should call my friend Rob. And I don't know why, but I feel like calling him. And so when you get these little hints, follow through, like take the action, and then record what happens. Start to gather scientific evidence for yourself of what happens when you begin to do and follow the guidance that is coming to you and that's given to you, even if you're not sure yet if it's actually your soul or your intuition speaking, or if it's just some random thought, or even if you're not sure, just start experimenting and playing with it. Number 3, get into your body. So again, your intuition and your soul speak to you through your body, not necessarily through your mind, not necessarily through words. And so embodiment practices are really important, not just for being able to hear with more of your beingness, like listen with your whole body and feel what comes into your body and be able to translate and interpret it. But it's also about nervous system regulation. And we all have so much trapped in our bodies, so much emotion that has been unexpressed, unmetabolized, unlooked at, that all that gunk ends up being like density and darkness and wounding and confusion, and it gunks up your receiver. And so if you've got a bunch of anger, or you've got a bunch of sadness and grief that is just in your body below the neck that you haven't felt or processed or metabolized or alchemized, then you're just kind of numbed out. You can't really feel subtleties or subtle sensations. And so embodiment practices like yoga is a great one, like any kind of mindful, usually slower practices where you're not just like running or doing something really fast, which like that can get you to flow state. And that is one modality that can be useful for different things. But there's something about being in your body with slowness and intention and really feeling, again, listening, but feeling to what's there in the body. And things will come up. Like you kind of open up this Pandora's box to these emotions that have been repressed or denied or rejected, or that you have labeled as bad, like, oh, only bad girls get angry, so I'm never angry. And then you just completely discount this powerful energy that wants to be expressed through you for your own safety, protection, self-love, expression. So body-based practices, also like kindred meditation, which is an amazing somatic embodiment meditation. It's a moving meditation where you're not just sitting still and silent, you're actually moving the energy with your body. Qigong, really any kind of movement that is mindful and probably slow initially, so that you begin to bring presence into your body and down below the mind that we've all been trained in for the last, most people go through standard compulsory schooling, which trains you entirely away from your body and trains you into the mind and the logical, linear, rational mind, which is only half of the human experience, if that, maybe even less than half. But getting into your body with slow, present movement practices is another way to begin to increase your capacity to hear subtle messages or subtle vibrations or inspirations or feelings that are arising in your body, that are being given to you by your soul, by your intuition. So I hope those help. Martha's barking in the yard. Martha! I offer a variety of services, from energetic clearing, ancestral repatterning. I teach somatic meditation, movement meditation, and I do various kinds of energetic healing to reconnect you with your soul and your soul's mission and purpose in this lifetime. So if you would like to connect, reach out. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, just this reminder that your connection to your own soul is the most important thing that you can cultivate in this lifetime.